Hey everybody and welcome back. Last week we talked about GPS device tracking in Home Assistant and how we can set it up on our devices to periodically tell Home Assistant exactly where we are. So that's useful for a couple different automations for determining if you're home or if you're not home, but I think we can take it a step further. Using the zones functionality that's built into Home Assistant, we can actually tell Home Assistant when we are other places, which can be handy for a whole bunch of different types of automations. Perhaps maybe you want to tell your spouse when you're at the local grocery store so that she can tell you, hey, grab eggs on your way home and things like that. So like I said, we're going to use the built-in zones functionality in Home Assistant. But first I wanted to quickly just talk about the latitude and longitude callouts at the top of your Home Assistant file. So hopefully your Home Assistant file already has this. If it doesn't, let's get this set up now. In the top of your Home Assistant file, you can name your instance, which I've named mine Briar Hill, which is just the name of my street. But you also have places to call out latitude and longitude. So mine's currently in a secret file, which you can't see, but these are just placeholders for standard latitude and longitude coordinates. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to determine the latitude and longitude coordinates of your home. If you navigate to Google Maps and bring up your neighborhood, you can actually go in and right-click on a spot on the map, the spot above, right above where your house would be, and you can say, what's here? And when you say what's here, it'll provide you with GPS coordinates. You can see down at the bottom here, it's 43.903914 and minus 78.811828 for the coordinates that I just searched for, which was just a random house. You can then transpose those coordinates into your latitude and longitude in your Home Assistant file, and that will be how your Home Assistant correlates the GPS tracking data that your device is sending it to determine whether you're home or not home. Pretty basic. So now we're going to add some more locations, and you can do that by creating a zones entry. So you can create the zones entry right in your config.yaml, but as usual, I've decided to do mine in a separate file. So I've created a includes zone.yaml, and that's right here, just an empty file. Like I said, if you want to create your zone entry right here in your configuration.yaml, that's absolutely fine. Or if you want to do it this way, that's fine too. We have a video on breaking up and cleaning out your configurations.yaml so that it has these external files. But let's start building it in this external file. So since we've already had the zone callout in the config.yaml, we can just start right away with adding entries. So I'm going to add a Walmart entry. So I'll tab in and I'll give it a name. Call it Walmart. And then we will give it a latitude and a longitude. So let me navigate to my local Walmart here, which is right there. I will say what's here, and that gives me the latitude and longitude information that I need. So I will say latitude 43.907 249, and longitude we'll say minus 78.816217. Okay, so we've got that defined. Now we're going to define a radius. And a radius basically just tells Home Assistant how big of an area around that exact point do you want to still consider being at Walmart. So this helps a lot with drift on your mobile device, or while you're walking around the store, if you want to make sure that the whole entire store is encompassed in that area. You don't want to be drifting in and out of whatever Home Assistant considers you to be at Walmart, so that automations aren't repeated and so far and so forth. So I will give it a radius of 100 meters. And the very last thing we're going to do here is let's give it an icon. So I just want to give this a W icon so that on the map it kind of makes sense. And you'll see the map shortly. So I'll say icon, MDI, alpha. And as usual, these icons are any icon you can choose from the Material Design icon library. I just chose the alphabetic W as my icon. I'm going to save that, and I'll log into my Home Assistant server and restart. So I'll do a sudo systemctl restart pass. There, Home Assistant's restarted, and now I'm going to log into the instance and verify that my changes are there. Okay, so we can see here at the moment, Home Assistant considers me home, which is correct. I'm sitting in my office right now recording this video. But let's have a look at the map now. So if I open the map, I now have 2 points with a 100-meter radius around them, one being my home and the other being that Walmart we just defined. So whenever I am in this scope, which actually looks like it's pretty well sized, it'll encompass the parking lot and encompass the actual store itself, it will be able to register me as being at Walmart. So that would look like this. For device tracker. Oh, apparently the word device is used quite a bit in here. Let's look for the word home. There it is. So this is my device tracker. This is me. Currently I'm considered home, but this state will change to Walmart when I'm inside the Walmart radius. So obviously you can use this with the Enboard Home Assistant automations, but more usefully, we can pipe these into Node-RED and have it act based on exactly where we are. So that's kind of all I wanted to get to for right now. We can maybe do some more example automations based on this at a later date. I just wanted to kind of wrap up this whole GPS tracking thing so we can get into something a little more exciting. Thanks very much for tuning in as usual, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.